Hi guys, welcome to Japanese Easy Study channel. My name is Ekida, and today we are going to learn about counting number in Japanese, such as counting for big animal, bird, music, and more. This is the part 5 of learning how to count number in Japanese. Count number of big animals. In Japanese, they use the unit of to to count for big animals, such as you see in the picture, we have lion, horse, and cows, and we still have a lot of big animals such as buffalo or something like that. These animal they use the unit of to count in Japanese. So let's see how to count. Ito, ito, nito, nito. If you say ito with the lion, that means one lion. If you say nito with the horse, that means two horses. Something like this. Santo, santo, yonto, yonto, goto, goto, lokuto, lokuto, nanato, nanato, hachito, hachito, kyuto, kyuto, juto, juto. And when you want to make a question, you can say nanto, nanto, or you can say in the polite form nanto desu ka, nanto desu ka, which means how many. If you use nanto with the horse, that means how many horse. If you use with the lion, that means how many lions, something like this. Now let's see some example of how to use the unit of to count for big animals. The first example, この動物園には15頭の馬がいます。この動物園には15頭の馬がいます。Which means there are uh, 15 horses in this zoo. There are 15 horses in this zoo. The second example. この動物園は何頭のライオンがいますか？この動物園は何頭のライオンがいますか？ Which means, how many lions are there in this zoo? How many lions are there in this zoo? The next we are going to learn for count number of birds. In Japanese, they use the unit of wa to count number of birds. As you see in the picture, we have many kind of birds, but in Japanese, they just use the only one of wa unit to count for birds. Let's see how to count. Ichiba, ichiba, niba, niba. If you say ichiba, that means one bird. Niba, that means two birds. Something like this. Sanwa, sanwa, yonwa, yonwa, gowa, gowa, lokuwa, lokuwa, nanawa, hachiwa, hachiwa, kyuwa, kyuwa, juwa, juwa. And when you want to say the question, you can say nanwa, nanwa, or you can say in the polite form nanwa desu ka, nanwa desu ka, which means how many birds or how many. Now let's see some example of how to use the unit of one to count for birds. For example, Niwa niwa roku wa no niwatori ga imasu. Niwa niwa roku wa no niwatori ga imasu. Which means there are 6 chickens in the garden. There are 6 chickens in the garden. The second example. この湖には何羽の白鳥がいますか？この湖には何羽の白鳥がいますか？ Which means, how many swans are there in this lake? How many swans are there in this lake? The next, we are going to learn count number of people participants. In Japanese, they use the unit of me to count for people or participant or name on the list. Let's see how to count. 1名 1名 2名 2名 When you say 1名 that means 1 people or 1 person. When you say 2名 that means 2 people or 2 person or 2 participants or 2 people on the list name. This depend to the situation you are talking about and depend to the meaning of the sentence that you are using. 3名 3名 4名 4名 5名 5名 6名 6名 7名 7名 8名 8名 9名 9名 10名 10名 And when you want to make the question, you can say 何名 何名 or you can say in the polite form 何名ですか 何名ですか which means how many people. Now let's see some example of how to use the unit of me to count for people, participant, or name on the list. The first example. 会議に参加する人数は何名が必要ですか？会議に参加する人数は何名が必要ですか？ Which means, how many people do they need to join the meeting? How many people do they need to join the meeting? このグループから3名を選んでください。このグループから3名を選んでください。Which means, please choose 3 people from this group. Please choose 3 people from this group. The next, we are going to learn for count number of music. In Japanese, they use the unit of kyoku to count the number of music. Let's see how to count. 1曲 1曲 2曲 2曲 When you say 1曲 that means 1 song. And when you say again 2曲 that means 2 songs. Something like this. 3曲 3曲 4曲 4曲 5曲 5曲 6曲 6曲 or you can say 6曲 6曲 7曲 7曲 8曲 8曲 or you can say 8曲 8曲 9曲 9曲 10曲 10曲 And when you to make the question, you can say 何曲 何曲 or you can say in the polite form 何曲ですか何曲ですか which means how many songs. Now let's see some sample of how to use the unit of kyoku to count for music. The first example, 日本の歌は何曲を歌いましたか？日本の歌は何曲を歌いましたか？ which means how many Japanese songs did you sing? How many Japanese songs did you sing? The second example, 日本の歌は3曲しか歌っていなかったです。日本の歌は3曲しか歌っていなかったです。which means I just sang only 3 Japanese songs. I just sang only 3 Japanese songs. Thank you very much for watching my video clip. And please help me subscribe my channel if you haven't. ありがとうございました。